that if you were just watching, if you were just watching Roderick Samuels, we got cut off. I don't know what happened, but if you're interested in asking him questions and just getting more feedback from him, go follow him on his Instagram account. So that being said, we're switching over. My name is Carrie, for those that have just started watching us. My name is Carrie Kennedy. I am the director of the Institute of Beauty and Wellness and Aveda Institute Madison. I wanted to invite you to our next portion of our series. It's our 3 o'clock portion. While we wait for people to get on, I would like to see, I'm doing a giveaway. In the chat section, put your favorite Aveda product in that chat section. I want to hear what you're using, especially at home. What are you using a lot at home? Aveda, I mean, goodness, I thought I missed the aroma. I'm putting on so much Aveda product because I just forget how lovely it smells at school with being at a beauty school, right? And being in an atmosphere where it has tons of Aveda. So that being said, I wanted to give you a heads up that if you put in the chat section, what is your favorite Aveda product, you might win a product yourself. So super excited about what we're going to be doing here today at 3 o'clock. Rima is our instructor, Rima Shah is our instructor, our Ayurveda instructor for our Ayurveda Aesthetics program. And if you're not familiar with Ayurveda, it is a 5,000-year-old ancient science dealing with the holistic wellness of the human body. And a lot of Aveda was based on Ayurvedic principles, which I'm really excited to be able to just spend some time with Rima. Rima is going to be showing us how to make Ayurvedic tea with ingredients that we might even have already in our home. And then, of course, during this time with lots of energy and some of it gearing on the anxiety and stress, we're going to do some meditation as well today. So I think this is an excellent way to kind of capstone our week here, our second week here at the Institute for distance learning, and a great way to launch us into the weekend. With that said, please welcome Rima Shah.
Hi, everybody. So my name is Rima, like Carrie said, and my goal for this hour with you all is to help you incorporate some Ayurvedic principles while we all are here at home and we're here stuck at home. And so what we're going to do for this hour is I'm going to actually lead you through a meditation, a little bit of stretching to get ourselves ready for meditation. And then I want to show you how some spices and herbs that you have in your house can be utilized to help you have better health. So I'm going to actually turn my camera. So you're going to see, welcome to my Ayurvedic kitchen. I'm actually set up in my kitchen today because I want to be available to show you some things with spices. So I'm going to turn the camera in just a few moments, and we are going to I'm going to lead you into meditation. So I just want to talk about how everybody is doing. And I feel like if I could talk to you face to face and ask you how you're doing with this whole process, I think a lot of you would have the same answer. I think some of you would say that you're doing good. You're finding a new rhythm. You're focusing on things in your house, within your family, within yourself. And I think you'd also tell me that you're feeling the stress and you're trying to keep abreast of what's going on nationally, internationally, and it's a lot. So I think all of us are feeling good, and we're feeling the stress on top of it. And I think we're all feeling the weight of the world on our shoulders. So let's try to get our a little tension off of us. Let's try to get a little bit of time together to de-stress. So I'm going to actually turn my camera so you can see me standing up. Okay. All right, everybody. So let's just start by taking some tension off of our shoulders, off of our neck, allowing our body to release so we can get our mind into a space of relaxation. So let's just start by moving our head. I want you to lower your chin to your chest, and I want you to nod up and down. You're saying yes to being here for this moment. And then I want you to look side to side and just really try to get your head to be matching your shoulder, so you're getting a nice turn. And then let's go ahead and do some head rotations. So let's lower our chin again. And I want you to take your right ear to your right shoulder. And then go ahead and turn your head back, stretch your throat out, and bring your left ear to your left shoulder and come back down. And go ahead and repeat this 3 more times. And then when you come back to the middle, go ahead and reverse the other side. And let's go ahead and do some shoulder shrugs. So let's lift our shoulders up and pull them back. We're going to do about 3 to 5 shoulder shrugs. And I think you all can see me pretty good. You're getting a little bit of background of my kitchen. And let's go ahead and bring our shoulders forward, reversing the direction. Perfect. Okay, now I want you to extend your arms out. And I want you to extend your arms out past your body. So you're getting a nice front body stretch. Give yourself some room. So we can't hug people right now, but what we're going to do is we're going to hug each other. So go ahead, and whatever arm is on top, it doesn't matter. Go ahead and give yourself a nice hug. And take a nice breath. And let's stretch our arms back out, again, a little bit past our body. And then go ahead and give ourselves a little bit of a hug again. Let's do it one last time. Stretching your arms. And then coming and giving yourself a nice hug. Beautiful. Let's just shake it out. So just spend a moment and just shake out all this energy. You can even just take your arms, your hands, and just kind of just scan that all extra energy out of your body. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually turn the camera so you can see me again. And we're going to settle in so I can lead you into a meditation. So before we start, I want to talk to you about pranayama. So Ayurveda, it's the mother of all holistic medicine. And because of that, the scope of what Ayurveda can offer is all encompassing. And so within Ayurveda, food as medicine, nutrition, diet, lifestyle, aligning yourself with the cosmos and the elements, and then pranayama, which I like to define as extending life force energy. It's really focusing on our breath, is a huge part of meditation and breathing and allowing our mind to find those places of stillness. So a lot of times meditations are taught with breathing techniques because the two of them go so hand in hand for allowing our mind to find that place that we can actually be free of stress, free of thoughts, and we're in a place where we actually can feel deeper relaxation. So the reason why pranayama is so popular and so vital is that our nose is a direct gateway to the brain. And so every time we focus and we put concentration on breathing, it sends signals to the brain right away. And that's why Harvard, University of Mass General, University of Wisconsin Madison are spending and getting multi-million-dollar grants and studying meditation in the brain, because they're realizing science is catching up with the wisdom of Ayurveda more and more. They're realizing that it just takes 16 seconds, a minute, to change our brain waves and to get us into a state where we're in a deeper state of relaxation. We feel more calm, less stress, and beautiful, amazing scientific things happen. Two beautiful things happen, and it can happen within a minute of meditation. Our amygdala shrinks, and that is a part of our brain that is the fight or flight center. So when we meditate, we allow that area to shrink, so we're constantly not reacting to stress with either like a fight response or a flight response. And then the second really important thing that happens is we actually increase the gray matter of our brain. And that is the area of our brain where we have cognitive skills. It's our concentration center. It's our place that we can really determine facts and organize our thoughts. And so when we increase that, our brain works better. So despite the fact that we are all on lockdown, lock-in, we can't forget that we have to align with the rhythms of nature. And here in Wisconsin, it's springtime. And springtime energy, we really need to remember that it's a time of rebirthing. It's a time that we can actually cleanse and detox. It's a really good time to establish habits and rhythm. And the birds are coming out, the bees are coming out. So I wanted to actually introduce you to Bhramari Breath, Bhramari Pranayama, which is honeybee breath. And that is such a powerful pranayama to align to our pituitary and pineal glands, which are located right near our third eye center inside of our brain. It really allows our mind to feel focused and open. And also we're invoking the honeybee. So we're actually aligning with what's going on cosmically in nature. So all you have to do, I'm going to show you two techniques before we get started. So all you have to do is you just have to close your mouth and allow yourself to make that bumblebee breath, and you're going to feel it a lot in your nasal area. So it just looks and sounds like this. And if you really want to get into it and you really want to close off your mind to any exterior noises around you, then you can actually put your thumbs and close off your ears a little bit and take your two fingers and close your eyes. And then you're really just allowing yourself to focus inward, and you can go ahead and do the Bhramari breath. And that really actually can make you feel like you're really feeling that bumblebee sound. So let's just get settled. I'm gonna have you close your eyes, and that's why I wanted to show you what the pranayama look like before our eyes are closed. So let's settle down. Make sure that you uncross your legs, plant your feet firmly on the ground, and just allow your eyes to flutter closed. And if you don't want to close your eyes all the way, just close them 3/4 of the way and just allow a slit to be open. And then get ready to just allow your forehead to relax, allow your cheeks to soften. You can place your hands over your heart, giving you some extra support. Make sure you unclench your jaw. A great yogic tip for helping us relax is taking the tip of our tongue and placing it right on the roof of our mouth and just breathing. And let's all take a deep inhalation, inhaling through our nose. And let's exhale out a sigh. Let's go ahead and do that one more time. Inhale slowly and exhale out a sigh. And if you feel like at any point, just let your hands rest on your lap. And I just want you to place your attention between the space between your eyebrows. There's an ancient book called the Yoga Sutras, and many people who love yoga love to delve into this book, which is really a series of verses. And the second Yoga Sutra, in the ancient language of Sanskrit, says, Yoga Chitta Vritti Nirodha. And the translation means calming the cessations of the mind, or calming the fluctuations of the mind. So Ayurveda, yoga, all the Vedic sciences understood so deeply that in order for us to feel optimal health, we needed to calm the mind down. So meditation, it does not stop us from thinking thoughts. And we think 60 to 80,000 thoughts a day. What meditation allows us to do is to live within the space of the thoughts, to allow the thoughts to be like passing clouds in the sky, so that we can have control over our emotions and our mind and emotions will not have control over us. And one of the great things that we can use to accomplish this is what great meditators call a pattern interrupt. And that means that when we feel our mind just going and going and going, and something distracts us, well, then we stop thinking about it. And so we're globally being asked to have a pattern interrupt into our life. And what better time to try to practice these things? So just focus on your breath. And in a few minutes, I'll bring Bhramari Pranayama in. So just inhale slowly, allowing yourself to pause at the top of your inhale, and then gently letting that go. And continue doing this, keeping your eyes closed. So we're all here in this moment. And we're giving ourselves time to release. The world is giving us this chance to let go. And every emotion that you brought up until this moment, fear, anxiety, worry, stress, relief, we're going to be giving ourselves a chance right here in this sacred moment to let it all go. For just now, just this time. And let's just bring into our mind that we can align with the cosmic rhythm, that we can think about spring and the birds and the bees. And we can use their example of how they live and go through the world and take some of those exercises into our lives as we're sitting here in our homes. And when we can feel what's going on in the world outside of us, then we have a chance to be totally pure in our thoughts in this moment, right here, right now. So take a long, slow, deep breath in, allowing your chest to expand and letting all your tension and worry go. And on your next inhale, I want you to pick an affirmation, one word, one sentence that's going to give you inspiration for today, for tonight. And inhale that aspiration in and let that seed plant into your heart right now. And just gently exhale. So I want to softly have us practice Bhramari Pranayama, the honey bee breath. Don't be forceful, let it be soft. And we're going to do 3 honey breaths. You're going to hear me do it. And again, just allow yourself to just feel that sound that honeybees make. And I'll direct you to take an inhale before you start. And if it feels comfortable for you, go ahead and bring your thumbs and close off your ears a little bit and bring your fingers to cover up your eyes, and you'll be able to hear that a little bit more. If you do that, you might not be able to hear me, and that's okay. So let's take a deep inhalation and softly exhale, honeybee. Inhale slowly. Exhale softly, honeybee. Inhale one last time. Exhale softly, honeybee. And just go back to regular inhalation and exhalation, allowing yourself to feel the space between your breaths. And when we do that, we can put focus on the space between our actions. We can put space between our thoughts, just like there's space between musical notes. So let's sit here silently for a few minutes, focusing on our breath and the space between. bring your hands palm to palm and let your thumbs nestle into your heart center. And lower your chin slightly so you can bow to the light that rests within you. And keeping your eyes closed, I wanted to share a sentence from one of the ancient Ayurvedic texts. There's a text called the Rig Veda. It's actually the oldest written scripture on the planet. And the very first word ever written, as we know it, is the word Agni, which means fire. And the first sentence is Agni Mile Purohitam. And the translation means, I surrender to the fire of transformation. So as we keep our eyes closed, let's remember this is a very potent time for us to ignite the element of fire and transform ourselves, our community, our school, our classes into a place where we vibrate higher. We can come out on the other side better than how we went in. I want you to keep that thought in your mind through these weeks. It's a powerful thought. And with that, let's go ahead and rub our hands together, creating some nice heat. Let's bring these heated hands to our eyes, keeping them over our closed eyes so that heat can energize us. And slowly move your hands away from your face. Open your eyes to your hands. Take a moment and look at your hands that do so much work throughout the day. And go ahead and come back to this time and space. Okay, so I hope you all found that to be okay. I hope you can find ways to incorporate that. The bumblebee breath is amazing. So whenever you're feeling like you need a little bit of spring cleaning, or you need to remember that it's actually a beautiful season coming ahead, that's a beautiful breathing technique to practice. So I know we're also homebound, and I wanted to give you all some Ayurveda tips on staying healthy during this time. And I tried to find some spices and things that you all might have in your house. And I wanted to talk to you about how you can help yourself stay healthier. So one thing about Ayurveda is it believes that the root cause of all disease starts in our digestion. And so because of that, Ayurveda has a huge, vast science of what they call digestive spices. And you all have probably used digestive spices, or your parents have used spices and you didn't know that they were digestive spices, because many of the spices in our cabinet, in our spice shelf, have amazing properties to heal symptoms in our digestive system. The beautiful thing about digestive spices, it actually also brings beautiful healing therapeutic qualities to our mind. So I want to show you how easy it can be through this process to incorporate some really good healing teas. So what I'm going to do is I am going to turn the camera around. Sorry, I'm moving some things over because I was trying to make sure that I was all set up for meditation. Actually, in retrospect, what I'm going to do, I have actually a friend here, and I think I'm going to have her turn the camera to me so I don't have to worry about this. So I am going to have her turn it so you can see me, but you can see me holding the spices. Okay, so, okay, so we have to turn the camera around. Sorry, everybody. Let me try to turn the camera around. It's nothing like having some friends over to help you with live TV. Okay, so I want to show you some spices that I have that are really good for Ayurveda. And I know a lot of people can't go shopping right now. I know a lot of people are avoiding going out. So I tried to incorporate things that I thought you might have in the house. And if you don't, maybe your next big shopping trip or an online order, you might feel compelled to get some of these things. So, first and foremost, I want to show you about 3 amazing seeds that Ayurveda just loves. So the first seed, is that a good view? So the first seed right here, this is actually cumin seeds. And cumin seeds, they're like tanned in color. And they're used, you might, if you have never heard of cumin seeds, if you've ever tried Indian food or Middle Eastern food or Mexican food, it's a big spice used in their cuisine. So these cumin seeds, these are an amazing digestive spice in Ayurveda. And what I did with these seeds is I dry roasted the seeds just in my cast iron pan, which I can show you at the end. I'm going to actually walk around my kitchen and show you things. I dry roasted these seeds for 20 seconds without any oil on low heat because spices are really intelligently grown and they were grown with like a protective coating over it. And so we want to actually apply a little heat so we can release the aromatic essential oils that are really healing to us. So I just dry roasted these for 20 seconds and cooled them, and I kept them in jars, and I just have them in these little bowls to show you. So cumin is one of the 3 ingredients in one of the most famous Ayurvedic teas, which we call CCF. And that means cumin, coriander, and fennel seed tea. So I want to tell you a little bit about cumin. Cumin, I'm going to backtrack for a second. So I wanted to tell you all that Ayurveda likes to look at people through what we call doshas. And doshas are combinations of the elements that really make up the whole entire population of species. And actually you can see doshic behavior in animals too. So a vata type person, people who we call vata, they are made up of the air and ether elements, and they tend to be thin-boned people. They tend to have thin hair, thin eyes. They tend to be dry, and because they're made up of air and ether, a lot of vata people experience digestive symptoms like a lot of gas and bloating, and maybe even like sensitivities to food, even stomach cramps, sometimes intestinal spasms where you feel like you need to go to the bathroom but you can't. So a lot of times vata people, they really need help with gas and bloating in their body. And cumin is one of the best spices for that. It dispels gas, so it actually can help get rid of gas that builds up in our intestine, our large intestine. And it's a great digestive aid. So sometimes we eat foods, actually many times we eat foods, and we don't use these digestive spices, so those foods are harder to digest. But if we start to incorporate these, then we can optimize our digestive process and we'll be able to handle these things better. So cumin is amazing at dispelling gas. And all you have to do is you could actually use it in cooking, but I'm focusing on Ayurvedic teas. So I would just I've got these little spoons. These are not like regular teaspoons. These are like little Indian spoons, but I would say this is about a half a teaspoon. So I'm going to actually go ahead and like sort of make a little tea blend right now. So I'm going to throw these dry roasted cumin seeds. I'm going to go ahead and put them in my cup for right now. All right, so cumin, amazing if you're feeling like you're somebody that's gaseous, that needs a little bit of help digesting some food. Maybe you feel a little bit bloated. So the next amazing seed out of CCF Tea is coriander seed. And so coriander is actually the seed of the cilantro leaves. So for some of you out there that love cilantro, this is actually the seed of the plant. I know there's that small population of people that don't like cilantro because they think it smells like dish soap or something. I gotta tell you though, cilantro is one of the best herbs for in Ayurveda for many reasons, for detoxification, for cleaning our blood, and also it's a great digestive. So the seeds are actually act differently than the leaf. And coriander seeds, I have these little cards that I had all ready for you, so I'm just trying to grab my little cards. So coriander is actually a cooling digestive spice. So this actually cools our digestive system down. And that brings me to describing the second dosha. So the second dosha is a pitta dosha. And pittas are made up of mostly fire, the element of fire, with a little bit of water. And so pittas, they're hot. You know, they're the hottest of all the doshas. And because of that, they can experience a lot of digestive symptoms that are hot in nature, like acid reflux, heartburn, hyperacidity, burning indigestion. And so coriander seeds is an amazing way to cool down your digestive system. Maybe you're somebody that also has a lot of bowel movements, like you have, um, loose stools. And that's also a sign that we might have a little bit of too much heat in our digestion. So the cool thing about Ccf Tea is it's equal parts of the seeds. And so you could dry roast all the 3 seeds that I'm telling you about and store them in a jar, and you can just keep them around and use them. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to go ahead and use my little spoon. I already have these dry roasted coriander seeds, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in my cup again. If you have a tea strainer or tea ball, you absolutely could use that. I just wanted to show you, because we're not really going out of our house, how easy it is to just find ways to use what you have. Okay, so coriander, a beautifully cooling seed. And the third seed that I wanted to tell you about today is the sweet one. And this is fennel seeds. And this is not as common that people know about this. I feel like it hasn't been used in recipes too much. So fennel is very sweet. And so if you like the sweet taste, fennel is going to be an amazing seed for you to learn about. And fennel is, there's a beautiful saying about fennel where they actually say when you use it, it leaves a residual sweetness in your body. And so when we bring the sweet taste into our body, we're lubricating our body. So it's amazing for people that feel dry or constipated, but we're also helping nourish the mucous membranes of our digestive system. So our stomach has these amazing mucosal lining. And if we eat really spicy foods or we eat a lot of improper foods, we can actually start to put damage to our mucosal lining of our stomach. And something as simple as fennel can really reestablish that. So I always say fennel is really good if you feel dehydrated. It's really good if you're noticing that you have chapped lips. It's really good if you also are feeling like there's a systemic dryness that's going through you. So this is the third seed out of the group. And I didn't really get to talk about the third dosha yet, so I'll come back to that in a moment. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take my little spoon. I'm going to take the same amount, equal parts of fennel, and I'm going to throw it into my cup. So those are known, these 3 seeds are known as Ccf Tea. And you don't have to have them all together. You can absolutely pour, and all I'm going to do after I make my tea is I'm just going to pour boiling water on it and let it steep for 5 to 10 minutes. You can either strain out the seeds or just leave them in and drink it, whatever you think. But this is considered like Ayurveda's classic digestive tea recipe. So I know that some of these spices might not be that common in the house, so I wanted to bring up a few others. But before I do that, I wanted to quickly talk about Kapha Dosha. So the third dosha we have is known as Kapha Dosha. And Kapha Dosha is made up of earth and water, the heaviest of all elements. So Kapha people tend to be large build. They tend to be like strong, robust people. They tend to have really lustrous hair, large eyes, large eyelashes. So we say that this dosha is really sturdy, but they can have digestive issues of feeling like their digestive system is really stagnant because all that heavy energy of those elements are really weighing down on their digestive power. So somebody that has kapha imbalances could feel really tired after eating, like they have to take a nap, or they might feel that they eat food and it takes 3 or 4 hours to digest the food. Or you could just have an overall really heavy feeling from eating. And I'm going to actually show you some other spices that are amazing for dealing with kapha dosha, but that's another beautiful thing that the cumin seed does, is it actually helps with kapha dosha too. So the beauty about this tri blend of seeds is it's pacifying for all 3 doshas. So I wanted you to know that. And then I wanted to bring in some other things that I thought you might have in the house. And I'm actually running out of things too, because we're all not going shopping as much as we used to. So I don't have cinnamon sticks here, but I feel like a lot of you have cinnamon sticks in your house. And I wish I could show you in my hand and break it apart, but I don't. So I want you all to know that if you have cinnamon sticks or even cinnamon powder, that's also amazing to put into boiling water. And if you had the stick, I always say to just break off at the end of your table about 1 inch and throw that into your cup and put boiling water over that. And so the spices I'm talking about now, like cinnamon and cloves, they're more warming spices. They're sweet also, but there's also a little bit of like spicy, pungent nature to them. And because of that, we actually say that cinnamon and cloves are really good for detoxing our digestive system. So if you are feeling stagnant, if you're feeling like your routine is totally thrown off and your digestive system doesn't seem to be super charged, these are great spices to use. And you could put a little inch of cinnamon stick and then good old cloves. You know, like I feel people keep cloves around for specific recipes, or, and sorry, I have a little bit of old faded henna in my hands from a while ago. And all you need is 2 cloves, and 2 cloves and 1 inch of a cinnamon stick. And just these 2 alone could be making a great tea to like really feel like your digestive juices are going. Okay, so I want you to just be aware if you have even a little clove powder, if you put a pinch of clove powder, a pinch of cinnamon, and you want to even use a regular tea bag. I just brought a regular tea bag out. So you could even enhance your regular tea bag. So I just have a mint lotus tea that my mother gave me. They were in Southeast Asia, where lotus tea is really popular. So let's just say that you have your tea bag, but you want to enhance. You could take your tea bag and then go ahead and throw in 2 cloves. And if you had a stick of cinnamon, go ahead and throw that right in there. So you could even enhance some tea bags that you have around the house. So it brings me to some live food now. And we are doing good on time. I'm also just going to check for a moment to see if anybody has any questions, which I don't see. So I think we're all good. So I had a root of ginger, but that's okay. It's all right. So this is ginger slices. I think I kept it over there. So these are ginger slices. So a good old ginger root. I'm actually going to run and grab it for 1 second. Okay, so good old ginger root, right? This is like an amazing thing if you are going to the store to go and grab this, because ginger is the spice of the season. And that is because when we look at springtime outside right now, we're noticing that the ground is getting muddy. We're noticing that things are warming up. So we can kind of call this the muddy season. And because of that, we also, in our body, we're getting a little muddy right now because all of our toxins are melting along with what's going outside. And we want to use a little bit of spicy stuff to keep ourselves aligned with what's going on with springtime. So, big thing of ginger would be amazing. So, what I did before this live class is that I just peeled the ginger and I just sliced it. And I know some of you already must be having ginger tea, but I just want you to know that fresh slices of ginger is amazing. And if anything resonated with you, like if you said I talked about gas and you're like, oh yeah, or if I talked about feeling really full for several hours and that really resonated with you, then I want you to know that taking some fresh ginger slices before or after your meal could be really beneficial to you. And usually it's 2 or 3 slices. So again, I'm putting a lot in my cup because I just I don't want to be running around a lot in off camera. So just 3 little slices in here could be perfect. And ginger is kind of, if you were going to ask me what's the go-to spice, ginger is definitely one of them. So I wanted to bring up 2 more things, and I'm just going to check because I think there might be a few questions. Yeah, there are a few questions, so I will get to that in just 2 minutes. So we all are kind of used to lemon slices, right? Like lemon's pretty popular. What I feel like some people don't know about is that lime is really amazing for Ayurveda. And that's because lime is a little bit less acidic and sour. So it makes a great substitute, especially for those of you when I talked about Pitta Dosha and I said if you're feeling like heartburn or acidity, this is an amazing thing to use. So many of you heard that hot lemon water first thing in the morning is an amazing ritual. Hot lime water, and even not first thing in the morning, again, you could bring this, incorporate it throughout the day. So you literally could take boiling water, pour it into your cup, and then go ahead and throw a couple slices of lime in. Okay, so just a few little tips. And then the last thing that I wanted to bring up before I look at your questions is this beautiful spice called cardamon. And this is so classic Ayurveda. It's an aromatic spice. So I want to bring it up and I want to show it to you. It's a green pod. And inside the pod are these black little seeds. And cardamom is one of those spices that probably, if you've ever smelled it, you might think it smells like India or smells like somewhere exotic. Cardamom is the other go-to spice for the season. Okay. And growing up in an Indian household, I drink chai every morning. I did not grow up in coffee fields. I grew up in tea fields. So I drink chai. And one of the things that I do is I just take 3 to 4 of these seeds. Here's my mortar and pestle. All I do is pound it. And I'm going to actually pour it into my hand so you can see that it's the shells plus these little seeds. And I don't even bother to grind it up more. And I actually take this and I throw it into my chai mix. But you can make tea out of this, just boiling water tea, same thing. And if you are somebody that loves milk, like milks, whether it's cow's milk or plant milk, you could add 1/4 cup of plant milk warmed up to your boiling water, and then you'd have an amazing tea with a little bit of milk into it too. Okay, so I'm going to look at your questions right now because I know I know we're kind of running out of time. So let me just see if anybody is saying anything. Do you add other components or does that affect the quality of the effects such as honey or lemon or ginger? Great question. Honey is amazing. Honey is also another beautiful thing to do for this season. So if you wanted to add a little sweetness, if sweetener is your thing and you wanted to add a spoon of honey into all of these things that I talked about, that is absolutely amazing. And the beautiful thing that Ayurveda reminds us is that plants have a synergistic relationship with each other. So when you use them in combination, they enhance each other. And I always say that spices is 50% intellect. Like, we want to know about spices, but it's also, we have to cultivate 50% intuition. And the best way to do that is to start using them and to have a relationship with them. And then those answers are just going to come to you, and you're going to know, you know what? I need a little honey and ginger right now. You know what? I'm going to boil some milk, and I'm going to put 4 cardamom seeds in milk. I'm going to boil it for 5 minutes, and I'm going to pour that at night, and I'm going to take a nice cup of tea to drink at night. So I feel like I might be cutting off at any moment. I wanted to tell you all that whatever you have in your house, use this time to get intimate with your kitchen and your spices. And if there's 3 things I can suggest to you, if you don't have any of this, grab yourself a big thing of ginger, use it every day for this season. If you can, cardamom is more expensive, but it is so good for mucus. So if you're somebody that has allergies or you're prone to mucus, this is a great thing to get. And then I really highly recommend getting Ccf Tea together, and maybe make that your goal. All right. So I hope that this was educational for you. And just remember to really find those spaces to close your eyes, get into a space of meditation, give yourself that time, you deserve it. And thank you so much for spending an hour with me learning about Ayurveda. I have one more question that I want to ask or that I want to answer. So do you recommend toasting fennel seeds and snacking on them? Yeah, we want to toast these seeds because it's going to help us. It's going to break down that natural barrier, and we're going to be able to get more of the healing properties. And then, is there a point when you can drink too much herbal tea? Absolutely. We can all be addictive and go crazy. I say 1 to 3 cups a day, depending on how you're feeling. Okay, great. So I'm just going to double check and make sure that there's no other questions. I think that's all good. I'm Rima at ibw.edu. If you have any more specific questions, feel free to email me. And one more thing, because I'm just waiting for it to go off. So one last thing. Let's end with one thing which I love so much, and that's called Breath of Joy. So we all could use this a little bit now. It's 3-part breathing. So, and I always like to say it's kind of like you're the conductor of your life. So what you're going to do is you're going to inhale with arms up, inhale with arms to the side, inhale arms up, and take a nice swoosh down. Okay, and let's do this 3 times together. Breath of joy. Inhale up, inhale to the side, inhale up, come all the way down. Inhale up. You're the conductor of your life. Make this the best you can make it. Down. And one last time, inhale up, inhale a little bit more, inhale up, and let it all go. Great. Thank you everyone so much. I'm going to actually take the camera and perfect.
Oh my gosh, that was awesome. I love that so much. I don't think I've just stopped and meditated at all this week. Too busy, right? So just sitting down, taking a moment of wellness. Thank you, Rima. That was awesome. Just so you know, thank you for participating in the chat section. I went ahead and picked one winner, Ambrosia. You are the winner of Botanical Kinetics Exfoliant. So we'll be shipping that to you. I'll be sending an email your way. Make sure we get your right address, all of that. And thank you so much. I hope you had a beautiful week. And I hope that you have a great weekend and that you're excited about more education next week. Until then, I'll see you later. Bye, everybody.